In my quest for perfect color in my little studio, this test I'm going to be focusing on the auto white balance. And just to make things a little more fun, I've also got my Sony a6400 right over here, so we're going to test it versus the Canon. The first test is I am going to use auto white balance, and then afterwards I'm going to set it with this swing. I always found that this makes my Sony looks really good. I've never been a big fan of the auto white balance with the Sony. How does it look? How does my skin look? How does the auto white balance look with the Canon? How does my skin look? The reason that it's important, especially for somebody like me, is I've got a pretty shiny spot going on here. I have my own built-in reflector. And as the light hits my head and reflects off at certain angles, the white balance changes. So the colors in my video, even in my controlled studio, will look different and move depending on the way my head is facing the light. At least that's what I think. That's my theory. So let's set the white balance right now and see if it looks any better. Auto white balance. All right, how's that look? Does that look any different? How does my face look? Let's compare it to the auto white balance. How about with the Sony? How does the Sony look now? Let's compare it to the Sony auto white balance. And now let's compare them against each other, just for fun. Why not? I know it's not a fair test. This is a full frame camera. This is a crop sensor. In this low light, the full frame should pick up extra light. That's why I bought it. It should look better. I hope it looks better. All right, I'm back into auto white balance because I have another test I want to do, and that is changing my background lights. I like having a little bit of color, changing the color depending on what I'm talking about. Let's put it on and see how it looks. Okay, there we've got the good old teal and orange. Now it sees white. Now it doesn't. Do the colors change? Do they look different? Okay, there we've got the good old teal and orange. Now it sees white. Now it doesn't. Do the colors change? Do they look different? How about with you, Sony? How does it look? We're in auto white balance. Do the colors look okay? Let's compare them side by side. I'll look right in the middle. Okay, let's set the white balance again, see if it looks any different. Oops, I just bumped that camera. All right, how does this look? Custom colors in the background, white balance is set. I'm really trying to get some nice skin tones. My skin is the number one here. I want the background to look good, but ultimately the subject's gotta look good. How about with the Sony? How do you look over there? I always found when I set the white balance on the Sony, it made a big difference when it came to skin tones. Let's compare them side by side. All right, I like setting the white balance. I think it makes everything look a lot better. Let's try a couple different colors in the background, shall we? Just for fun, I want to make those background colors pop and see if my skin still looks good. See what the Canon can do. How about with the Sony? Can it handle this much light behind me? Does it wash me out? I get darker. Look how underexposed I am on the Sony, but look at my skin on the Canon. That's the full frame. That's what I want. When I'm exposed behind, the full frame can really lift up the shadows on your face, whereas the Sony seems like it's having a little harder time with it. Interesting. All right, well, that's it for my test today. Thank you for watching and coming along with me. I'd really appreciate you chiming in the comments and letting me know what you think. Do you like the Sony colors better? Do you think auto white balance is good enough? Do you use it? I'm really digging the Canon. I love the colors. I'm still learning this camera, and this is my goal, to learn it and to make it look the best everywhere I go, starting within my studio. Next, I'm going to talk about picture profiles. I'm going to go through each of the settings and figure out what works best for me. So check out that video here when it's ready.
And don't forget to subscribe to my dad's channel.
You heard her. Now you got to do it.
And ring the bell to receive notifications.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the Sad Studio. See you next time. All right, good job.